make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Make Your Day Richer. I'm your host, Richard Wilmore, and today we are talking about something that I know nothing about, but I feel like it makes your day richer, and that's why you're here to tell us about what you do. Good morning, Dominique.
Good morning, Richard. Thank you so much for opening yourself to new things.
Of course. I this is what I love about having this show. Now, so I'm reading your like bio and what you do, and it so casually says that you weave 3D with 6D to make balanced business decisions. And I think I only know three of those words. So can you explain what you do to people or for people?
Of course. So basically, I use the energy. So I use like what you already know of who you are, and then I go and I channel information from, let's call it the 6D. So let's say 3D is Earth and 6D is the universe. So I channel information from the universe, bring it back here. So you're going to have source given gifts. For instance, most moms, they know things without knowing how they know things. This is channeling, but they don't call it channeling. They're just calling an inner knowing. So now I help them understanding how that works for their life. They already know, but also for a business. So we weave at all the information that comes from out there and bring it back here on earth and work with it here so that it helps you here.
So it's almost like when you say like I just had a gut feeling. Is that what it's like? Is that what you're
Yeah, it's like having a gut feeling, but knowing how that gut feeling works, why it comes to you, and how you can use it.
How did you start? How did you get into this? How did you find it? And how did it help you?
Well, it's helped me all my life because I now back it up with human design. So in human design,
Mm,
there's different profiles, different types. So at the beginning, I didn't know how to use the words for what it is, right? Now I know I'm a generator, and generators live their life with gut feelings. But
mhm,
I was very, very impulsive all my life. I'd go from one country to another, one job to another, without really knowing why, knowing when there was going to be something where I shouldn't be there anymore and just kind of like move out of the way. And I never
mm,
understood why. And when I was younger, I was always wondering, how do I know these things? I didn't even go to school and I knew things on the science level, like medical level. I was able to speak with people without understanding how. And so now I know I have psychic abilities. I have that gut feeling that comes from my generator. The psychic abilities is from the channeling. I won't be able to tell you what your life's going to be like, but I might be able to have a conversation with you without even knowing what your topic is on.
oh my gosh. What was it like to come to that realization and then to just sort of accept it? Like, okay, this is really what my gift is. What how did that feel?
Um, I think that I mean, it felt great to understand where it was. I kind of felt like the odd kid when I was younger, that I was like always floating on a different dimension. That's why I say dimensions, that I was kind
Hmm.
of like looking at people and I wanted to be part, but I didn't understand how. So when I
Mm.
understood that we all have gifts and we just have to learn really the whole of who we are and how to use them, it just made everything so much simpler because I stopped wondering and trying to make sense of everything and I started living.
Oh, wow. Um, who do you usually work with? Because I know you work with business owners, which I think is so unique and different. Like I love that, I think when you're starting a business, it's very business plan and it's step one, step two, step three, and you take it in such a different route when you're working with business owners. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So I usually work with people that already started their business. They've already been through that journey of like they took the courses, they've been to coaches that have the cookie cutter kind of thing, and they're like, well, I was promised I was going to make 10,000 in 4 months and I'm not. And
Mm.
then those people, when they come to me, they're a little bit overwhelmed, and they're like, starting a business takes so much time and there's so much to do. And this
Yeah.
is where I tell them, well, maybe you're just not meant to do it alone. Let's work through this together and let's get the team together. Starting a business costs money, right?
Hmm.
And this is where I say, the more you know about who you are, what you really want to accomplish, and you're very, very clear on all of these things, everything kind of like starts making sense, and the puzzle starts like putting its pieces together with you seeing it. So because you're not in it all the time, you start observing instead of reacting to everything, and it just makes things more peaceful. So I'd say that my role is more connecting the soulpreneurs, the solopreneurs, to their inner knowing, so that they can go out in the world and be in their zone of genius, but knowing what that is for them.
Wow. Can you talk and give some like examples of people you've worked with and what you've been able to help them with?
Yeah, for sure. So in the more like, um, let's say in the more traditional business, I've worked in hotels where they would come to me and say, people don't come to the front desk. They don't even come and ask. They just like walk out of the door. And so they were losing income because the people were not utilizing the hotel. So when I go into the hotels, or when I went into the hotels when that happened, I would just sit in the lobby. And my job is really to feel, to stop thinking and to feel. And then we'll put all these feelings into a strategy. And then I would just sit in the lobby and see what was wrong. What's going on? Where is the energy stagnant? Like stagnant water, it stinks.
Yeah.
Same thing with energy.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it's just, I don't know, the front desk angle or the colors. If you have like a bright red color in back of your front desk, the people are not going to be inclined to go. Or all the staff are on their phones, which is not mostly common. I worked in Latin America. So in Latin America, that happens a lot less. But there's a whole bunch of things, like when you walk into a lobby and there's a big, big plant in the middle, you don't even see the front desk, things like that. Very, very subtle
Mhm.
change. But even as a solopreneur, if I walk into your boutique or your bar or your restaurant or anything, and when I walk in, I don't have that kind of like inviting energy, I'm just gonna walk out. And this
Yeah,
is
that's
how I've
true.
helped these people.
Wow. You've mentioned a couple times about, going into places. Do you do anything virtually too, or is it all
Yeah.
hands on like that?
No, I do virtually. So the people that I help virtually are more coaches or people that are solopreneurs, that they know how, we're going to say complicated, but it doesn't have to be complicated. They know in their head that it's complicated to be in business because they forgot to connect with their inner self. So I
Mm.
do have a membership, and it's more like a mastermind because we come to really, not mine, but we come to feel our businesses. And first of all, make sure that they're aligned with the whole of who we are, and everybody talks together. And another part of my design is to bring in collaborative people. So when they come in the membership, then they see that this other person can help them, and then this other person can help them. And so it makes them have their whole team, and they don't have to
Yeah.
hire people because they can outsource to the people that are already there.
Yeah, it can be so overwhelming when you're starting a business or you have your own business and it's you and you have all the roles. That's a lot of pressure, and it's not always cost prohibitive to bring on staff, but when you can create kind of that community with you and everyone else to bring all the pieces together in different ways, that's so smart. um how can people connect with you and find out more about you?
So the easiest way to connect with me is through the website, intentionandflow.com, or by email, Dominique at intentionandflow.com.
Okay, good. And we'll put all those up in the show notes and in the comments. What have you learned from doing this work?
Mm. I have learned, I think that the most important thing that I've learned is that people do things. We all do that. Like when I say people, I'm totally included in that. There's a part in our life that we do things and we give our power to external sources, right? We'll read, we'll see, and then we're like, oh, I really like this. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna do it. Like if this was our path. But we don't ask ourselves, is this really what I want to do? We don't feel, is this really what I am meant to be doing? And then when we are older, then we're like, oh, what? I'm missing purpose. Well, really? I've been giving my power my entire life to society. I believe that we need to regain that power way younger so that when we are older, we already understand what it is to be happy, have fun, and we don't have to relearn it.
That's so, yeah. That would also be a great, my final question for you was, what are some tips and some ways that people today can start kind of trusting their intuition? But that, I mean, you kind of just said it, but are there other ways that you would throw out there today of ways that people can start doing that in their everyday life?
Yeah, I believe that as adult, we have, like I said, we forgot it how to play, how to just be playful with life. We take everything way too
Yeah.
serious.
Yeah.
So I think that I like food for this. I think that if you're eating something that you really like, feel what the really liking that food feels like. And if you're eating something that you don't like, feel what that feels like. So when you're asking yourself business questions or you're asking yourself important questions, you're able to know what the good feeling is and what the yucky feeling is. The good feeling is a yes, go ahead. And the yucky feeling is like, don't do it. That adventure is not good.
Yeah, so smart. And I feel like I now know a little bit more about 3D and the 6D world. I thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yes, please come back anytime. Go to her website. Why am I not on the camera? Where am I? What? I'm right here. Go to her website and connect with her. We'll put those in the notes, like I said, and we'll be right back, everyone.
In this world of innovation, would you rather have an old, outdated flip phone or a brand new iPhone? A horse and buggy carriage or the newest luxury hybrid? A dial-up router with your AOL account or a super fast Wi-Fi hotspot? With nutrition, what you have been using or taking up until now hasn't been bad. There's just something newer. We all appreciate advancements in science and technology. In the same way we seek the best and newest in our electronics, vehicles, and everyday conveniences, wouldn't you also want the best technology and newest innovation for your nutrition and supplementation? At the time, you may have had the best from what was out there and available. Now, there is something better and newer, more bioavailable, more convenient, better tasting, faster acting. It literally is the equivalent to getting an IV full of high-tech nutrients right into your bloodstream, without the needle, without the appointment, without being attached to anything for a specific length of time. Simply pop these tasty, all-natural lozenges into your mouth and savor as they instantly start to absorb into your bloodstream through your mucous membranes. That's it. And with the added benefit of negative ions, in other words, energy, there isn't anything else out there on the market like it. Now is the time to switch to the next improvement and innovation in health and nutrition. It's time for advancement. It's time for better. It's time for APL Go and our rapid botanical DNA drops.
And we're back. I hope you all had a great day today. Thank you for tuning in and watching or listening wherever you do that at. On Monday's show, we have Amber Cliphouse, who is an author that you're going to love to hear all about her adventure into publication. So stick around for that. We have a new episode of Everyday Enchantment that came out this week, and I want to show you a clip. It's by Stacey Andon. It's available wherever you get your podcasts, watch or listen to your podcasts. I am the editor, producer. She calls me her creative director, but here's a clip of this week's episode.
Well, when I came into my 40s, I was just like, oh, this is interesting. And I don't really know anyone that I can talk to or listen to about life in your 40s. And then, God forbid, life in your 50s. And I'm just like, I don't see anyone. And I go back to that curiosity and service. And I'm like, can I share things? I mean, I talk to friends out there. Most of my friends seem to be younger than me. I don't know when that happened, but it's like I jetted past them. But I talked to them about, oh my gosh, I did this, or I'm trying to do this, and they were like, oh, that's good information. And I said, I'm going to share as much as I can, because I felt like I had to search and search and search for like 5 years to figure out, and I don't know that I still have it figured out yet, but just what I need to do to get myself even somewhat on track.
Everyday Enchantment's available wherever you get your podcasts. Colette was an amazing guest, and I came up with a really good podcast idea for her. So I hope she runs with it, and then we'll have her on the show to talk about it. I'm doing Charlotte Pride this weekend. It's Pride here in the Carolinas, and so I will be there all weekend with a lot of water, having a great time. So if you see me, stop and say hi. All right, have a great weekend, everyone. Stay safe, be good, go do something to make your day richer, and I will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.